evening and good night to some of you. This is a very special broadcast, and of course, we must pray. And prayer we must this very evening and always going forward. And I will pray in the language of heaven because Chukwuokike Abiama is in control of all that we have been doing and will continue to do until Biafra is restored and all the suffering indigenous populations in the damnable Zoological Republic are set free. Chineke na nke pụrụ m ihe niile Chukwuokike Abiama onye na-efewe n'aja aha nsọ ya mma mgbe niile. Onye ọbụla na ya na-achị eluigwe n'ụwa na-agba akaebe ịhụnanya gị na ebere gị amara gị n'ọmịiko gị ebe ndị gị na-eze ebede ngọzi. Anyị wee na-etoghị agbanyeghị atụmatụ ọjọọ niile nke ndị iro iwe nye anyị ndụ ala nke dị n'uwere n'ụbọchị nke taa. Anyị wee na-asị na ịja mma niile otu niile dịrị aha nsọ gị. Onye ọbụla anyị aka ike niile na ọ gbadara aka ya. Anyị wee na-akpọku gị na-asị gị na nke ọma anyị ga-ekele gị nke ọjọọ ma anyị kelee gị. Anyị wee na-aja gị mma wee na-eto gị wee na-asọpụrụ gị n'isi ụmụ gị niile bụ ndị ikwu ndị wee eziokwu mgbe a kpọrọ ha ka ha wee chekwaa ala nsọ gị bụ Biafra onye nwe m na Chineke na ihe n'ikwuru anyị nkwa na o mekataghị ka ndị iro wee were ala nsọ Biafra onye nwe m na Chineke na nke bi n'igwe agbanyeghị atụmatụ ọjọọ niile nke ndị iro ma ndị na-agba mgbọgba ebe niile dị iche iche onye nwe m na Chineke nna ihere bụ nke ndị dị etu a n'ụbọchị nke taa. Anyị wee na-eto gị wee na-asị onye nwe anyị na Chineke nna nke pụrụ m ihe niile onye ọbụla anyị a na-azọpụta onye ọ bụ naanị ya bụ okwu ya niile bụ ihe na amen. Anyị wee na-asị ezi ebube dị ngọzi na ọtụtụ na ịja mma na nsọpụrụ site n'ebighị ebi ma ruo n'ebighị ebi. Ise ise ise.
Welcome, my amazing viewers. Thank you so much for joining me on my program once again. I appreciate you wherever you're connecting from. If you're joining me from Africa, Asia, Europe, America, or Australia, Canada, wherever you're joining me from, Biafra land, wherever you're connecting from, I thank you very much for your contribution on this channel. Please go to the comment section and leave your comment. Each time you watch the video, you can make your contributions. You can criticize if you so desire, but do it constructively so that we can learn from one another. Thank you so much for coming. Also, share this video to all platforms. Share it to family and friends. Share it to your WhatsApp group. Share it to everyone so that they can know what is going on in the contraption called Nigeria, more especially in the life of the indigenous people of that contraption called Nigeria, the Biafrans, the Duduans, and every other indigenous tribe. I am coming online on a daily basis to make sure we set the record straight. Make sure that the conventional media do not change the story. I am coming on a daily basis to set the record straight without being politically correct. I am not preaching hate speech. I am not talking down on anybody, not calling on the hate on anybody, but I am speaking the truth and nothing but the truth, setting the record straight. I say leave and let's leave. And for those who have said that they will not allow us to leave, just like the Fulani Judge have said, they will not leave either. That is why I am coming online on a daily basis to speak about the plight of the people of Biafra. Today I am here once again, setting the record straight on the situation of things in Biafra land. Please share the video to all platforms. Share it to family and friends. Don't allow people to tell your story. If you don't tell your story, others will tell your story. And believe you me, they are not going to tell it the way it's going to favor you. They will not tell the truth. And certainly, they are not going to tell the story based on your own favor. That is why we have to take the responsibility of passing the message by our own self. Today, I'm here again to call upon people to speak up for Asuda Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The intimidation, the starvation, the torture of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in DSS is unacceptable. This is a crime against humanity. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, remember, he was being kidnapped in Kenya. From Kenya, he was renditioned to Nigeria. Today, we can see what is going on in Nigeria. They are still torturing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. After torturing him in Kenya, they brought him down to Nigeria, and they have continued on the torture. They have continued on the torture. And we cannot be silent. We can't continue to watch them torture Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on a daily basis. That is why I'm coming out to speak up. We must have to continue to embark on the civil disobedience. Civil disobedience have remained the only alternative, the only way we have to air our opinion and to speak out. The only way you have to call for the unconditional release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu remains civil disobedience and nothing else. That is why I'm calling for civil disobedience wherever you are. If you have not joined the Monday Sit at Home, join the Monday Set at Home. And any other day that's been added, join it. That is the best thing to do. That is the only way our voice can be heard. And that is the way our Mazi Nnamdi Kanu can be released. If you continue to be silent and you continue to play along with these people, you can never get the truth. The truth will never be heard. And they are not going to release him. They will not. When you watch everything that is going on, watch everything that is going on closely. Don't just believe something because people said it. Use your own common sense. Study the situation. Watch what is going on. You can see that the political solution cannot bring Mazi Nnamdi Kanu out. And if you look at it critically, you can see that they are not doing anything. They are just playing to the gallery. They are just playing to the gallery. Yes, that is what they are doing. Because since they have spoken about the issue of political solution, have you seen anything change? Have you seen anything change? Instead of changing for better, things are changing for the worst. Things are changing for worse. Initially, we were hearing that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was okay. We were hearing that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was in a high spirit. But all of a sudden, we begin to hear a different stories about the situation of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in DSS. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been facing all manner of torture in DSS. All manner of dehumanization. Even after the lawyers have complained to the judge gave an order that the condition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and his treatment should be improved. He should be given all rights that is due to him because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is innocent. He remains innocent until proven otherwise. And no law court on the planet that have proven that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is innocent. An innocent man who was kidnapped from Kenya and renditioned to Nigeria through extraordinary rendition. And today, he is facing incarceration, facing torture in that same Nigeria. And the people who are supposed to be his kingsmen, people who are supposed to be speaking up for him, they are not speaking. And those of us, the ordinary people who are calling on the people to speak up, they say we should shut up our mouth and stop talking. We cannot keep silent. We can't shut up our mouth. We will continue to shout on top of our voice, louder than ever. We embark on civil disobedience. They tell us we should leave civil disobedience, that they are going for political solution. And you have seen where their political solution have led us. After we thought that we were going to do something on the political solution, what do you see today? Today, the punishment of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the torture have increased. They have now added starvation. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have been denied food for days. That was the last information we got. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu blood was being taken every day and again. They told us 12 times. Who knows if it is more than 12 times? Who knows how many days they have been doing that? Who knows how many times they have been doing that? They have not allowed him, the doctors, to see him. This is what we are seeing. And we cannot be silent because the life of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the life of Biafrans. And the life of every Biafran matters. The life of every Biafran matters. That is why you have to continue to speak and shout on top of your voice. If you have not started speaking, what are you waiting for? If you have not started acting, what are you waiting for? Some of you are saying that we have been doing civil sit at home, that why can't we add something else? Now, our brother Simon Ekpa have suggested something different that we're going to add to make it tighter and tougher for this political elite and their cohorts. And what is that? We are going to stop the revenue collection in the southeastern region of Nigeria. We are going to stop the revenue collection in Biafra land. They will no longer collect revenue. If it is local government, state government, they will no longer collect revenue from us. We will stop paying those revenue. Let the Biafrans stop paying revenue to the state government and local government. Stop paying. What you have to do now is to embark on a serious civil disobedience. Stop paying those things. It is the money you are giving to them. That is the money they are using to pay the Janjaweed to come and kill you. They are using the same money you are paying. That is the money they are using to sponsor this Boko Haram military to come and kill you. You see? The more you continue to pay, the more they will continue to kill you. That is why you have to withdraw from payment of every revenue in Biafra land. Revenue to the local government, revenue to the state government, revenue to the federal government from Biafra land have to stop. If you're operating any shop, operating any business or any company in the southwestern region, keep your money to yourself. It is going to be useful in time to come. Keep your money to yourself. It is going to be useful in time to come. And for those of them who have chosen the subjugation of their people as their own work, those who are working in that revenue section, if you are working as one of the revenue collectors, you better go and look for another job. Go and look for a new job and let your people be. This is not the time. After Biafra have come, you can come back to collect revenue. There can be no collection of revenue in Biafra anymore until Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is released. If you're one of those collecting the revenue, resign. Better for you resign and look for another job. Resign and look for another. And if you insist that you're going to continue to collect revenue from people, expect anything possible. Whatever you see, you take. I want this video to go to every single person living in Biafra land. This is the time we have to be serious. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must be released unconditionally. We are not asking for anybody to kill anybody. We are not asking for guns and weapons. We are saying, keep your money to yourself. No more payment of revenue in the southeastern region, local government, state government, and federal government from Biafra land. It cannot happen anymore. Every businesses, every company that keep your money to yourself. A time will come when it's going to be useful. Keep your money to yourself. The tougher days ahead are coming. Because if you continue to pay this money, they are going to use your money to continue to sponsor the terrorists to come and kill you. This is why you have to step aside. And nobody is going to fight for you. If you think that somebody somewhere is going to fight for you, you're wasting your time. The earlier you begin to fight for yourself, the better. Because they will never ever fight for you. You have to fight for yourself. You have to fight for it. Civil disobedience is the only solution and the only way out. Civil disobedience. In all manner of civil disobedience. Civil disobedience by sitting at home. The Monday sit at home and every other day that is being added. It doesn't matter the group who are calling the sit at home. It doesn't matter who is adding it. Sit at home. Whenever it's being added, join the sit at home. Sit in your home. More especially the Monday sit at home. Let it be tighter than ever. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is facing a great threat to his life. He's facing a great threat to his life. And no politician is speaking for him. No elite is going to stand for him. It is you and I that will make things change. It is you, the Biafrans, the ordinary people that will make things change, that will make Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to be given all right and treated equal. And be treated nice and be released unconditionally. It is based on what you do and what I do. That is why we have to continue to embark on civil disobedience. Obviously, we are fighting against a stronger enemy who has all the weapons and all the money. But we are going to use that which we have to fight against them. What do we have? We have our life. We have our businesses. We have our money. Put our money in our pocket where it's going to have value for the days ahead. Stop paying those revenue allocation. Stay at home. Any day that they sit at home is called stay at home. Don't listen to anybody who is talking in a trash about the economy. You are only building the economy of the Janjaweed. You're only building the economy of your killers by giving them those revenue. Until Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is released unconditionally, then we can begin to suggest on the next way forward. And this is the second phase. If they refuse to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, more tighter conditions are going to come. More tighter conditions are going to come. Spread this news to every person in Biafra land. Every Biafran. They should get it and send it to their families. Keep your revenue to yourself. Stop paying allegiance to any local government or any state government or any federal government. Biafra must be free. And it is we that are going to free ourselves. By the little things we have, we use it to free ourselves. No international community is going to help you or help me. None of them is going to help. If you are hoping on international community, the UK or US or whatever, they will never come. They will not come. So it's high time you begin to fight for yourself and do that which is right. And you have seen the propaganda they are pushing on all corners. Pushing propaganda that you and I know that are lies. Now they have resulted into planting IEDs in Biafra land. Planting bomb in Biafra land, positioning bomb. When they plant it, they go and root it out and they will claim that it is the ESN that are doing that. ESN has no hand in planting such an IED. We have not reached that stage. ESN are not involved in anything that has to do with streets. Anything that's happening in the street, ESN is not involved. We are having our duties in the bushes. ESN, they are fighting in the bushes on daily basis. Even as I'm speaking to you, they are still working in the bushes. ESN are busy in the bushes, not in the street. But what do you see? The DSS begin to plant their IEDs. They plant it and take it out and begin to show the world that it is ESN. They are shopping for evidence from all corners to make sure that they term ESN terrorist organization, when the whole world know that ESN is not a terrorist organization. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter the propaganda they push. It is very, very clear that ESN is not a terrorist organization. ESN are the ones fighting to defend their people. They are there for self-defense. That was why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu established them, to defend Biafrans for the invaders, to defend Biafra for the hands of the killer terrorists, the killer herdsmen in the bushes. and those killer herdsmen are still there. Instead of going against these killer herdsmen, what the DSS and the Nigerian government are doing with their governors and political elite are planting EIDs to demonize the ESN, planting EIDs on the road, planting IEDs, planting bomb on the road. They will go and take it out and claim that it's ESN that is planting it. ESN has no time for that. When ESN are ready for war, Mazen Nani going to say it, and whenever he launched Biafran army, the whole world will know. Mazen Nani has not launched Biafran army. What he launched was security outfit, just like you have the Amoteku, you have the Hizbah in the north. A security outfit to protect the southeastern region. That was what Mazen Nani launched, and they have their duties in the bushes to fight against the terrorists, because that is where we have a challenge. But they try every and again to demonize ESN and frame us up, continue to give us false name that is not where we are. They try to make IPOBs terrorists by all means possible. But the world knows the truth. We are registered in all parts of the world. In all parts of the world, registered. We have professors, we have engineers, we have doctors, members of IPOB. We have politicians, we have lawyers, members of IPOB. So it doesn't matter what they say, the world knows the truth. IPOB is not a terrorist organization. Mazen Nani Kanu is not a terrorist. Last time they brought their propaganda of people that were being killed, some policemen that were being beheaded. IPOB don't involve such. ESN do not involve themselves in such beheading. They don't involve themselves in beheading anybody. It is not their duty to behead anybody. ESN do not behead anybody. They don't engage in such barbaric act. And Mazen Nani Kanu can never ever support that. Let alone putting it in video to go and begin to show to the world. For what? For what reason? What do they intend to gain to show such a thing at this critical period? Now they are coming with the propaganda of planting IEDs, planting bomb in Biafra land. How do you think that ESN would send so low to begin to do that in the streets, not even in the bushes? What is it intend to achieve? These are propaganda that is coming from the Janjaweed, and we step down, we will destroy all their propaganda, everything they are saying. That is why we are coming online on a daily basis. Even when they are using their media to push these lies, we are on social media, setting the record straight. They can never succeed. It doesn't matter how they tell the lie. It doesn't matter the angle they are coming from. It doesn't matter the way they are bringing the lie from. They can never ever succeed. We will match them toe to toe in their propaganda, and they will not succeed. Mazen Nani Kanu must be freed unconditionally, and we cannot stop whatever we are doing. Civil disobedience remains the only thing that will turn the hand of time to make sure that Mazen Nani Kanu is released. The Janjaweed do not listen to any begging. For those who call themselves traditional rulers who are going to beg, who call themselves a league, who are going to kneel down for an uncircumcised Janjaweed, you are wasting your goddamn time, bringing yourself low. You are wasting your time because they're not going to listen to you. We will continue to embark on civil disobedience until Mazen Nani Kanu is released. And now we are on the second phase to cripple the economy of the Biafra land and also that of the Janjaweed. That economy they are talking about, that they are bringing money to put in their own pocket, not for us. They can't use the money to make your road. They can't use the money to give us light. They can't use the money to build hospital. They can't use the money to protect the people. They can't even speak up and tell this terrorist military that are sending the Saudis to stop killing us. Instead, they are going to invite them more. You saw Hope Uzodinma in Asorok to go and request for more military men to be sent to Biafra land to kill people. That is what they do. This is why we are asking you to continue to speak up and do that which is right, which is fighting for the unconditional release of Mazen Nani Kanu through civil disobedience. It is going to work a lot of work. It's going to do a lot of work. It is going to do a lot of job for you and I. It is going to do a lot of job. You see what is happening in the northern part of Nigeria? They have handed over the northern part of Nigeria to the terrorists. The Janjaweed government, the terrorists that is leading Asorok, have succeeded in handing over the northern part of Nigeria to the terrorists. They are not saying anything about the insecurity in the north. Insecurity in the north have grown so much that people cannot travel through the road. So many roads have been locked down. Kaduna Abuja Expressway cannot be traveled. You can't travel without an escort. And in other places, they are kidnapping on a daily basis. You saw the news that came out from Sokoto. We have 47 people plus. They told us 47. We know that it's above 47. We are burnt alive. These are the indigenous tribe in Nigeria. Some of them are Muslims. Some of them are other tribes. In the northern part of Nigeria, they burnt them alive. You saw their burial. I can't share it here on the video because it's so gruesome. They burnt them, including a pregnant woman was killed. This is the kind of horror that is happening in northern part of Nigeria. And in the place where this kind of things happen, you don't see any alarm. You don't see the military going in full force to find those who are perpetrating this evil. You don't see the military unleashing the military there. You don't see the government unleashing the military. Every time you hear about kidnapping, even as I'm speaking to you, there are some people who are still being kidnapped as we are speaking now. Some people who have been kidnapped for months are still in the hands of these very kidnappers. They make videos to showcase themselves what they are doing. Do you see the government going after them? They never go after them. Instead, they are busy destroying Southeastern region. They are busy destroying Black Biafra land. They are busy killing innocent people in Biafra land. And you think it will be well with them? It can never be well with them. And just as our Sultan Mazi Nagana has said, they will all go back home in disgrace. And as many as have come into Biafra land to begin to kill our people, they will go home disgrace. They will never have a home to return to. At the end of the day, they will not have a home to return to. Mark it somewhere. Everything that Sultan Mazi Nagana has said in the past always come to pass. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the chosen one, and he is indestructible. Every prayer and everything we are doing today is for ourselves, not just for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It's for your own life, to save you and to save your unborn children. That is why you don't have to be silent. If you see a video where people are speaking up, share the video, let it go viral. Go to the comment section, add your own opinion. We all have to put all hands on deck. Anything you can do on your own to make sure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is being released unconditionally, continue to do it. Don't look back. It doesn't matter what anybody is saying or what they are doing. Continue to do what you are doing to make sure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is being released unconditionally. That is what we have to continue to do. Do not listen to their lies. More lies are going to be coming. More lies, more propaganda are going to come to confuse you. Don't be distracted. If you call yourself a true Biafran freedom fighter, don't be distracted. Focus on your freedom. Focus on the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, which will translate to your own freedom. That is what you're supposed to focus on. Stop listening to gossip. Some come on their platform, begin to gossip. Stop chasing viral videos that have no meaning. Stop chasing viral videos that have no meaning. And don't talk about a topic simply because somebody suggested it for you. I get a lot of suggestions on my private messages. I get some private messages and a lot of suggestions about videos on what to make. But I don't listen to them. There are so many videos people are sending for me to talk on. So many issues they want me to speak on. I don't listen to them because I know what I'm supposed to talk about. Once your suggestion does not go in line with the principles of what I'm supposed to talk about, which is the freedom of the people, I am not going to talk about it. Once your suggestion is not targeting the pillar, is not targeting the source where that problem is coming from, which is Aso Rock, the source, the Nigerian government, to destroy it into pieces. If your suggestion is not going to that direction, you're wasting your time. I'm not fighting against individuals. It doesn't matter where they're coming from. It doesn't matter their ethnic. It doesn't matter their religion. I fight against that foundation. That very faulty foundation that made us, all of us, slaves. That faulty foundation that made it possible that to evil ones to be able to function. That faulty foundation that is making it possible for the fake pastor to operate. That faulty foundation that is making it possible for the fake lawmakers to operate. That faulty foundation that is making it possible for the fake imams to be operating. That faulty foundation that makes it possible that the fake one Nigerians to be operating. That faulty foundation that is making it possible for the fake freedom fighters to be speaking. That foundation is what I'm destroying. That is what I'm focusing on. And every of my message is directed on those evil. That sucks. Because when the foundation is destroyed, every other thing will collapse. I say it and I say it again. When the foundation is destroyed, when Nigeria is broken into pieces, 85% of the problem you are seeing today, you will see them no more. That is why we have to remain focused. Our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have diagnosed the problem of Nigeria. He had diagnosed it properly and came to a conclusion with a solution that the only solution is a breakup of that contract called Nigeria. That is why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu began to clamor for self-determination for his own people. Our Oduduwa brothers killed into it. The Bitu Betans killed into it. So many other indigenous tribes killed into it. And today, I can tell you that 85% of the population of that contraption called Nigeria, all they want is self-determination. Allow them to decide their fate through a referendum. That is what they want. But ask me, why is it that these people who call themselves lawmakers, who claim to be representing their people, are not pursuing that self-determination? Calling for self-determination is not calling for war. It's a great solution that will save everybody the pain. It will improve the security. It will improve the economy. It will improve the people. Everything you are thinking of, break up of that country, bring it forward. Tell me, why are they not pursuing it? Because only few people are being satisfied with this very concocted contraption called Nigeria. They are using the blood of innocent to pay their bills. So long there is money in their account every month, they don't care about any other person. They don't care. A country that doesn't have a system, a country that its system does not support its citizens. Instead, the system of the country kills its citizens. They don't have any system in place to protect its citizens. Everything you can see in place are against the citizens. Everything. That is why they can stand bold to shoot at citizens who were protesting for a better Nigeria during the NSAS. They were bold to open fire people who were holding their flag and singing their national anthem. If a government can do that, what else do you think they can do? There's nothing else the planet Earth they cannot do. If a government can be able to do that, what else are you waiting for? To look for a way out to save your life. When we are calling for breakup, actually people who are calling for breakup are the people who love the indigenous people of that country. They are the people who love the citizens of that country. They are the ones calling for a breakup. Break it up to save life. How can you take a country and hand over to foreigners from the Sahel who has nothing to offer, who doesn't even want independence in any way? They can't develop themselves and they don't want others to develop. How can you force those people together? Water and oil can never mix. They are two different things. They can't mix. It doesn't matter how you try. They can never mix. And this is why we are asking out of this contraption. And for the foreign countries, they can never help you. They won't. They won't help you. That's why you see the recent debate that was held in the parliament in the UK. UK parliament held a recent debate. In that debate, they didn't mention the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a British citizen. And the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the case that the whole world have seen and heard today. It is no longer hidden. And the UK parliament is debating about human rights and abuse of human rights in abuse of human rights. They are discussing the issue of abuse of human rights, and they never mention the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? They don't care about you. They don't care about any human being. They care about themselves alone. And when you are talking about human rights, that kind of human rights you see in the UK and US, it is nonsense. It's not for you. It is for themselves. When they are discussing issue of human rights, they never mention the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in their parliament. A debate that was held a few days ago, case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was not mentioned. I'm going to look for the video and play for you so that you can see.
Collective action. And to conclude, the global human rights sanctions and the global anti-corruption sanctions regime have given the UK new and very important powerful tools. The designations we've already made show that we will act to hold to account those involved in serious human rights violations or abuses or serious corruption without fear or favour. And in close coordination with our allies, we will carefully consider future designations under the regulations. Because, Mrs. Miller, through concerted action, we will provide accountability for serious human rights violations or abuses and serious corruption around the world, and deter those who might commit them in the future.
Chris Bryant, to wind up.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Miller. Well, I'm afraid the Minister wound me up at the end there, because, to be honest, why the government can't simply say that somebody who has blatantly been involved in the drugging and the illegal extradition of somebody to Rwanda, why the government can't say that that person will not be accepted as a representative of Rwanda to the Court of St James as a High Commissioner? I can't understand. That's a very simple ask. I understand why ministers always say, they've said it endlessly to us, oh no, we don't want to speculate about sanctions because that undermines the system and all the rest of it. We don't want ministers to speculate, we want ministers to implement. It's quite simple, and I like the Minister enormously, she knows I do, but we want more action. Only 24% of those people who are sanctioned by the United States of America are sanctioned by this country. What is that? Is that because we are more picky? Is that because we're more cowardly? What is it? I don't understand. There's no argument for it so far. So I hope that what the government will do in the new year is they will set aside a whole day for us to debate a whole series, to debate this in proper government time, to understand how we can make sure that the UK is always and will always be the beacon for liberty, for freedom of association, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and the right to life. Because, to be honest, why the government can't simply say that somebody who has blatantly been involved in the drugging and the
somebody who have blatantly been involved in drugging
illegal extradition of
and illegal extradition
somebody to Rwanda.
of Rwanda.
Why the government can't say that that person will not be accepted as a representative of Rwanda?
Why the UK government can't say that that particular person cannot be accepted as a representative of Rwanda? You see, my own problem now is that why are they talking about Rwanda when we have the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and nobody is talking about it? And this was yesterday. This was yesterday. That is the reason why, something extraordinarily need to be done. And let me say, when you see me advocating for economic sanction on Biafra state, you see the same people who say they want to get, who say they want to get freedom. They are mocking me.
This is the situation. This is why we are shouting and we are crying. That don't wait for anybody to fight for freedom, because they never fight. You can see in that very debate, they went to the extent of mentioning an extraordinary rendition that was conducted in Nigeria. Extraordinary rendition that was conducted in Nigeria. They condemned it, and we are talking about it, saying that such country deserves a sanction. But they never mentioned Nigeria. They never mentioned Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in the case. When we all know that the extraordinary rendition that we are seeing that happened recently, that the whole world is aware about, is the extraordinary rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who was kidnapped from Kenya, a British citizen. He traveled with the British passport, stamped in. He didn't enter illegally. They kidnapped him, renditioned him to Nigeria. Now it's becoming more clearer that Britain is part of the kidnap. Britain is part of the kidnap, and then we come bold to begin to talk about human rights. You can now see the kind of human rights that are protected. And when we tell you that Britain are part of every evil that is happening in Nigeria, when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu says it, and when we say it, you think it's a joke. It is not a joke. If British Parliament can make such discussion of human rights abuse, and they never discuss the issue of their citizen, they went to the extent of mentioning extraordinary rendition in their discussion, but they mentioned Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, whose case is still on board. They never talked about it. What does that tell you? It tells you that they don't care about you. They don't care about you. As long as you're a black man, they don't care about you. You see the reason why you have to wake up and fight? Because nobody's going to fight for you. Already, the British government and the Janjaweed are on the same page. This is why you have to wake up and fight for yourself. Nobody can fight for you except you fight for yourself. That is why we are calling for civil disobedience, a tougher one. If you have not joined, this is the time to join the civil disobedience. If you have any other suggestion that will make it tougher, bring it on board. Our brother Simon Ekpa have already suggested a strategy that is going to shut down the southeastern part of Nigeria, more especially. Shut down the Biafra land and make sure that these governors, these political elite, these criminals who claim to be representing you will be on their toes and begin to beg and do the right thing. We have to stop the collection of revenue in the southeastern part of Nigeria. Shut it down. Keep your revenue to yourself, no matter the company you are running, no matter the business you are running, in the market you are running, in the marketplaces where they are collecting billions. Do not give that money. Keep it to yourself. It will be useful in days to come. Remember, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu warned. He said they are coming. They are coming. They are coming. Today they are here already. It's no longer an issue of they are coming. They are there. And it's high time you fight for yourself. They have come. They don't care about anything else except to destroy you and I. To destroy you and I. That is their mission. And they want to accomplish it by all means possible. They are not joking about it and they're not smiling about it. They have started. That is why in the northern part of Nigeria, the indigenous people in the north of Nigeria have no protection whatsoever. Nobody is protecting them. They have no single protection. The area has been taken over. It has been taken over by the terrorists. They are helpless and nobody is doing anything about it. Yes, the northern part of Nigeria is in the hand of terrorists. And if you think a joke, watch this video of a confession on what a senator is saying from the House of Senate. Watch.
Unfortunate incident that took place both in Ilela, that is in Sokoto State, where about 45 people were killed by the bandits. And then again another one came up about 2 days ago, that is Monday night, where people were in a bus, that is from Ebulutu to another place called Gidambawa. When the bandits stopped them, the bandits were 12 in number with guns. They sprayed the bus with the petrol and then set it ablaze. And they refused to allow anybody to help the people because they are holding guns. Anybody who attempted to do that was actually shot dead. In fact, they continued that until everybody died. There was even a pregnant woman there. That woman delivered there and the baby was also killed. So this is exactly the kind of problem we are facing. Nobody is helping us there. The security forces are not doing much in that area. And now the worst part of it is that the governor has stopped the vigilante groups. So in that kind of situation, we don't know even what is going to happen. Because nobody is going to assist you, no vigilant groups, and nothing whatsoever. So it's a real serious issue. In fact, I'm sorry to say I have been tired of talking about this times without number.
That is the situation. This is happening in Sokoto State. You can't see the army unleash their military over there. The man is even complaining that they have shortage of military men over there. Ask me, what are they doing in southern part of Nigeria? In southern part of Nigeria where there is nothing happening. In southern part of Nigeria where they themselves are the terrorists. In southern part of Nigeria where they themselves are terrorizing the people. Why wouldn't they go to the place where the real terrorists are? The Fulani terrorists. The Fulani herdsmen, the terrorists we know, whom they have renamed to bandits. The Fulani terrorists, Fulani headers, the fourth most dangerous terrorists in the whole world. They are in the north, killing people on daily basis, kidnapping. They have grown up to the extent that they can be able to shoot down an aircraft. They have grown that they have APC armor tank to drive. They have grown, they have so much weapon. And they are not going to fast them. And some of you are still joking. When we say that the Nigerian government is a terrorist government, you think it's a joke. A video just emerged where a helicopter was supplying ammunition to the Fulanis in the bush. A helicopter supplying terrorists in the bush. Tell me who owned it is the helicopter of the government. Watch the video. That is how the government is sponsoring terrorism. In a government, you can tell me that a helicopter will be flying in the bushes, dropping ammunition without the government knowing. But they can be able to come out and be bold and tell you they know they have surveyed and know where ESN are. They will come and tell you they'll be flying over, be bombing bushes. They will go to the southeastern Nigeria and begin to destroy bushes where nothing is happening. They will go to southeastern Nigeria, be flying, shooting on innocent people. Shooting on innocent people, but in the north, you see a helicopter dropping ammunition for the Fulani herdsmen. Helicopter dropping ammunition for the Fulanis. Yet there was no attack, there was no uproar. The military are not there to capture the helicopter or capture the ammunition. Because it is the government that is sponsoring them. Because the government is sponsoring them. In the Southeast, have you heard of any supply to the ESN anywhere? Have you heard of any? Have you seen any video in March where they say that the supply was meant to the ESN? ESN are fighting on their own against the terrorists. But in the northern part of Nigeria, the government sponsored the terrorists to kill the indigenous people. Even the North, even the Muslims. So it is not about religion. It is not just about religion. It is about the Fulanis and the Fulanis alone to introduce their own kind of Islam. That is what they are trying to introduce. So it's not about the real Islam that we know. That is why they are killing people on a daily basis. Initially, they came with that religion issue to confuse the northern people. Some people bought into it, and today they are paying the price. They are paying the price. That same line they are trying to bring into the southern part of Nigeria. Some idiots in the southern part of Nigeria are listening to them. That was what they used to conquer the north. Today, the north is in the hand of the terrorists. And you think it's okay. You think it's okay. It is not okay, and we cannot be part of it. It doesn't matter how they try. It doesn't matter how they try. It doesn't matter how they try. They can never succeed in Biafra land. Mazen Nandekan has said it clear that no inch of Biafra land will be lost to the terrorists. We cannot lose an inch to the terrorists, and they know it, and they know it well. They can never succeed. They can't succeed. Doesn't matter how they try. They can never succeed. The only thing you have to do now is you have to play your own role. Our freedom is in our hand. You free yourself, I free myself. Nobody is going to free us. Nobody anywhere will free you. We are the one that's going to free ourselves from this captivity. And it's high time everybody have to wake up and do the needful. Remember, put it in your head always that the freedom of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is the freedom of every Biafran and the coming of Biafra. That is why Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is indestructible. Nobody can kill him because Biafra is divine and is destined to come. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu must accomplish that mission to raise the flag of Biafra. He will. It doesn't matter how they try. Even if the Biafrans themselves decide not to fight, decide not to do anything, Chukwu Okike Abiyama is going to use somebody. He's going to send an angel, use somebody who supposedly has to be an enemy. Use an enemy to free Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and bring Biafra to us. It must definitely happen. It's a question of time. And it will happen soon. Very, very soon. Before you close your eyes and open, you will see it happen. It's going to happen. Everything that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu have said have happened. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is the appointed one by Chukwu Okike Abiyama. I didn't appoint him. You didn't appoint him. It is Chukwu Okike Abiyama that gave him the mantle. And since then, he has been working according to the work Chukwu Okike Abiyama gave him. That is why he's whiter and whiter and whiter than snow. You can't hold him up with anything. You can't say that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu did or did that. There's no guilt you can find in him. That is why he is pure. It doesn't matter what you do. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu must accomplish his assignment and take us into Biafra. We will continue. Any place you are, fight for the struggle. Continue to fight for the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu through civil disobedience. Follow up on this revenue collection stoppage. Follow it up. Stop revenue collection. Stop giving your revenue to the local government, state government, or federal government in Biafra land. Don't. You don't have to. The more you give them that revenue, you are empowering the Janjaweed to kill you. You are following to sponsor. You are contributing to the sponsor of the killing in the South Nigeria. Something that is happening now. You saw Hope Uzodinma went to ask for more military. When you are paying for those revenue, you are indirectly sponsoring the killing of your own people. This is why every market leader, every business owner in Nigeria, in southeastern part of Nigeria, do not participate in any payments of any levy. Don't pay your revenue anymore to them. Keep it to yourself. Let them come by force. Let them come by all means. Keep it to yourself. Don't pay. It is going to be useful in time to come. Chukwu Okike Abiyama will redeem Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. It doesn't matter what they do. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu will definitely be free. And we will continue until Biafra come. May Chukwu Okike Abiyama guide and protect every person that is watching this video. Every hand that will share this video, Chukwu Okike Abiyama will bless you and we will definitely see Biafra. Every hand that will share this video, you will see Biafra. You will never die. They won't kill you. Every Biafra, wherever you are, in Biafra land, outside, wherever you are, Chukwu Okike Abiyama will continue to guide and protect you and secure you, give you knowledge and tell you what to do. Listen to your inner mind. Chukwu Okike Abiyama is speaking to every Biafra as I speak. Chukwu Okike Abiyama is speaking for everybody. It's led for you to take action. Use those words you are hearing in your inner mind. Use it. It is going to be helpful to the struggle of Biafra. May Chukwu Okabe and guide and protect every Biafran. May Chukwu Okabe and guide and protect every Oduduwan. May Chukwu Okabe and guide and protect every Middle Beta. May Chukwu Okabe and guide and protect every indigenous tribe in the country from core Nigeria. Those who are genuinely asking for the freedom of their people. May Chukwu Okabe and guide and protect them. May Chukwu Okabe and guide and protect Sunday Igboho. Secure Sunday Igboho. Grant him freedom very soon so that he can come and continue to fight the battle to the end. May Chukwu Okabe and guide and protect Asudo Mazen and Kanu. Secure Asudo Mazen and Kanu. Provide for him. Feed him spiritually. Let Chukwu Okabe send the doctors from above to continue to minister to Mazen and Kanu spiritually. Continue to guide him, protect him. No evil formed or fashion against Mazen and Kanu shall prosper. They cannot take his life. Mazen and Kanu must lead us to Biafra, and he will raise the flag of Biafra very soon. It doesn't matter what they do. They will kill us. We will kill them. At the end of the day, Biafra is here. Thank you so much for watching wherever you are watching from. And remember this. Bye-bye. See you again on the next video.